Hello, my name is Caleb Rabone, and today I will be presenting an automatic watering system using an Arduino and a Raspberry Pi and my own custom circuit. Let's begin. This is the Arduino and Raspberry Pi set up. I'm currently logged into the Raspberry Pi through the Wi-Fi, and I have pulled up the soil watering program. In this program, it's very simple. It begins a serial connection with a baud rate of 9,600, and then it begins this loop in which it reads from this analog pin, which is connected to the capacitance moisture sensor. This sensor reads in a value and it prints it out to the serial port. This capacitance value ranges from around -1 to 47. And this is the percentage of moisture in the water. Once it reads this value, then it goes to a little comparison in which if the value is less than the threshold, it will turn on the water pump, indicating that the soil is dry. This threshold value right now is 12. Because of some testing I did earlier in which I calibrated it. I just put it in wet soil and I was like, oh, 12, and put it in dry soil and it was around -101. Once it turns on, it'll stay on for 4 seconds and then it'll turn off. If the value is not less than the threshold, which means it is wet, then we don't do anything and we just wait 1 second and then read again. The next part of this is using Raspberry Pi's terminal to then take this data and export it to a Google Sheet. This Google Sheet will be produced through this code. And basically it connects to the same serial port with the same 9,600 baud rate. You can see the serial port down here is TTY-ACM 0, and basically it gets the data from that serial connection and then appends it to the Google Sheet. It's very simple. When I run this together, so I'll upload this to the Arduino and then I will run this code, python3 main.py, and basically what's happening, Arduino is getting the input and then it's going to turn on the water pump or not. But the data that it has on the moisture is getting sent to the Raspberry Pi through the serial connection, and then the Raspberry Pi is connecting it all the way up into the cloud, into our wonderful Google Sheet. Okay, so right now it's at 4 since the soil is slightly damp. Now I will share the Google Sheet, which is pulling live data from the Raspberry Pi. See, this data is coming in live. We're taking the data from the Google Sheet and then outputting it to a nice visual interface. And boom, we got live data coming in hot. There it is. All right, here is the Raspberry Pi Arduino setup for the automatic plant watering system for my beautiful basil. Oh my gosh. This is a power voltage adapter which converts 5 volts to 12 volts through a special magic circuit, and this is my custom made, wow, beautiful transistor circuit in which this gray wire is basically a switch that turns on the transistor or turns it off. This is the ground, which then connects back to the Arduino to make sure we have a universal ground. This wire is not connected because I don't want the water pump running while I'm talking. And this is the Raspberry Pi that is controlling everything from above. And this is the Arduino, which is then taking this analog pin for the capacitance sensor. Here's the capacitance sensor running into the Arduino, it's reading the data, and then making a decision on whether to turn on or off the water pump. So if I plug this in, oh my gosh, I'm going to plug it in. Okay, it's turning on, it's turning on. See that? It looks like it's not turning on anymore, which means that this value has become saturated and it is above the threshold. So if I move it, get this dirt, this wet dirt off of it. I didn't expect it to get so wet so fast. It needs to be dry. Oh, let's turn it back on. Oh shoot! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It just made a mess. Okay. The last thing to do is go over the economic analysis and also review the graphs. If we look at this basic calculation, the economic opportunity cost of watering is going to be around $780 per year. Say you have an engineering salary and you have to take away from that because you have to water your plants, and the total cost of the system bill of materials is $126.51 approximately. To look back at the data collection, we have well over 150 data points, and the moisture level, as you can see, this is when it turned on to water and then turned off. All right. Thank you. Have a great day.